Hello traders and welcome to a new day trading strategy video of mine. In today's video we're going to be talking about price action and volume part 2. As you can see here, this was the most voted upon Patreon video that I had, so it is the video that we will be doing today. As you can also probably see, this is a new microphone that I'm using. This is the Blue Yeti, and we'll see how the audio turns out for this one. So quick recap on price action and on volume. So I talked about price action and I talked about volume tenets that we're looking for in part 1, but what I didn't add was the law of effort. So the law of effort states that a move past a major high or a major low or just a market move on very strong momentum, these are known as large effort moves, as it takes a lot of effort for price to change its state, whether that's consolidation to an uptrend, uptrend into a downtrend, or so on. Now, these large effort moves must be followed by strong follow-up or they will likely fail. So what that means is when we see a very strong, let's say that of the two types of large effort moves, let's say that we see a move on strong momentum and strong breadth. That means price covers a lot of distance. If price moves upward on strong momentum and strong breadth very quickly and then just begins to immediately start to move down, that is typically not a good sign because that does not show that there's high enough demand present for price to continue the uptrend to much higher highs. So when we see that immediate V-shaped reversal, we can be moderately confident that we're going to see some major retracement or possible reversal. So these types of rejections are typically going to be candlestick tails. So what one might see on a 5-minute trading period or a 15-minute or even more would be that quick up move for maybe a 5-minute window. And then in the next 5-minute period, you might see price attempt to move higher, then immediately shoot right down. And you might see a high tail as price makes a higher tail upward. And then you see price close not far away from its open. That's typically not a great sign because that shows rejection of higher highs. And typically price is going to move down. Excuse me. One other way of rejection that we might see that's a little bit more obvious is when price moves above resistance, a large effort move here, move past a major high, but then moves right back into the trading range. That is typically a pretty bad sign as well for the bulls because when price moves out of the trading range, hits stop losses, and buyers might begin to aggressively buy, we should see aggressive buying and price going much, much higher. But if we just see a lack of buying when price crosses above resistance or a major high, then moves back down, what that can mean is a stop loss hunt. And that would be a spot where we would really want to sell and we would really not want to buy. So these are the kinds of things we want to think about with effort. When we see these large effort moves, do they have follow-up? Are they being rejected? How is volume? Is volume high? If volume is high and we get high momentum, that typically leads to a continuation. And so on. All right, so let's get right into the examples that I prepared. And then we're going to be going into some live examples. They're going to be a little bit harder because they're a little bit more realistic and random, I will put it. So with this move here, what are we looking at? Well, we see that price has moved above two major highs, one here, move above two major highs. And the type of volume I'm going to be using today is solo colored volume, just one color, because I like I've been using it more often. I find that it helps a little bit more. It doesn't interfere with the colors of the candlesticks either. So what we see here is we see a major volume spike here and price goes up. Then we see a volume spike here, but that's not really too special because price moves in high momentum and continues the uptrend with good follow-up. So this one doesn't really tell us too much. But then we see this. We see decent momentum for Ethereum and about a 3x volume spike of the moving average. But now we're really not seeing much follow-up here. Price should be much higher by now because when price crosses above two major highs and a volume spike occurs at the base of the uptrend, price should have no trouble creating new highs with high demand present, with many bid orders propping price up and preventing it from going down. I'm really just not seeing that here. I'm seeing something a little bit different. This does not mean that for certain price is going to go down. What might have happened is price, might have actually just consolidated then continue going up. But it's just all statistics and probability. The probability here is that we might see some further retracement because we had a large effort move and we had a failure of continuing that large effort move. So this is what actually happened. Price went immediately down in a much more bearish direction, as you can see here. We have a good volume spike here with high momentum right here. So this does not look like a stop loss hunt of this low area here. This looks like a genuine downtrend, and price continues to move downward here. Okay, let's go into the next example here. So what do we see? We see a downtrend here, a failed up move on quite poor momentum. I mean, poor volume and poor momentum, so not a great sign. And price naturally does go right back down. However, price makes a new low here. But what's going on here? Price does close back into the trading range. So I'm going to give you guys 5 seconds to just determine whether this is bullish or bearish, starting from now. Okay, so this was the result of this type of pattern. Price went down, made a lower wick, also known as a tail or a shadow. So price made this lower tail, which actually stopped out many traders because it's below one low here and two lows here. As you can see, it's below both of these lows. Some stop losses might be triggered here. Some retail might panic and sell. And we get that volume spike that might confirm that that might have happened. And then we see price close immediately back into the trading range, as you can see here. And then price moves upward on high momentum. So this is the type of pattern that we're going to be looking for to potentially scalp or to potentially buy into. This type of pattern here, where we get high volume and a move past support, past major lows, and price immediately moves right back into the trading range. That is a pretty bad sign for the bears and a decent sign for the bulls. So price moves higher here. Okay, how about this example here? This one may be a little bit tougher. So I'm going to give you guys 5 seconds with this one. Try to analyze the most recent candlestick's volume and its momentum and local lows that it might have crossed below. All right, starting from now. All right, so this was the result of this type of move. Price naturally just went lower. There's nothing tricky here. This isn't like a stop loss hunt or anything too special. Price is moving on high momentum and on high volume to the downside, and we're able to cross below many lows, and it looks like price has closed below those lows. And as you can see here, this was the point of where the picture was taken. Price just continued to move down. We had very little bullish pullback, as you can see, just a tail here, not a great sign, and price just continued to move downward. So this would be a spot that you probably don't want to try to stop loss hunt buy or fade the trade by trying to buy here with stop losses hitting. This is just strong momentum, strong volume. So pretty bad spot. All right, so now let's go into live. Again, this is going to be a little bit tougher, but yeah, I think that we can try to learn a lot. Again, for those who might not have seen part 1 for price action and volume, which I think you probably have if you're watching part 2. But what I'm going to be doing here is using the bar replay tool. What I like to do is I like to go back in time and just practice at random spots and try to guess whether price is bullish or bearish. Because this can be a great way to prepare yourself for live trading, whether it's on the 1 hour, the 5 minute, or the 4 hour. Dynamics are going to be quite similar across those for price action and for volume, except maybe that lower time frames are going to have a little bit more variance in body creation like this than the 1 hour and 5 minute. But so we see this. We see a move below supports. Let's look at a few more candlesticks to see whether this is a stop loss hunt or whether this is genuine. Ooh, okay. This one's getting interesting. So we have a lot of volume being transacted here, but this is not a gigantic candlestick. Interesting. So you can make your prediction now. Let me give 3 examples of what you can do. Do you think that price is going to move weakly downward, then back upward immediately, or just downward much, much lower? So I'm going to give you guys 3 seconds to just look at this kind of price action volume formation and take one of those 3 paths. One of them is correct. All right, so here is what happened. Price moves downward. Let me turn off volume here. Price moves downward, makes a low here, goes back upward on decent momentum and on decent volume. I mean, actually pretty bad volume, excuse me. But then we see this stop loss hunt tail down here, immediately close back in the trading range on high bullish momentum. And now we get this. So the correct answer here would have been price weekly moved downward and then moved upward. As you can see there, moves right back upward. I think the reason that this probably occurred was many traders had sold here. We had volume was 1.77K. That's a lot of selling for not a lot of bearish movement. Price moved down 0.7%, 0.75%. That's a lot, but relative to how much volume and how much selling had probably occurred in that time frame, that's not really a lot. This is a large volume effort move, but not really a large price effort move. And price fails to make lower lows, as you can see here. And price moves upward after that low tail down to there. So how about here? I'm going to give you guys 3 seconds to try to analyze this kind of pattern. Are we going to get lower lows to try to retrace this pattern? Are we going to get immediate highs? What do we think here? 3 seconds. All right, so the answer here was we did get immediate highs. This tail acted as a reversal, a stop loss hunt, as price goes below this low here, potentially convinces some retail traders to sell or hits their stop losses. And then we go back upward. We did just break the high, so we really want to see the amount of follow-up that we see here, because if price fails to continue upward, we're probably going to go downward. So let's see. And like that, yeah. So as you can see here, price does fail to make any highs because it makes one high here, but doesn't pick up enough demand for price to continue to go higher, as you can see here. So this is interesting now. We just had rejection at this level down to here. So price moves below major low. I'd say more of a minor low here, but minor low here and a minor low here. It puts a tail down to here and then goes back upward. Let me do 3 more candlesticks. That kind of gave it away. But is price going to break this high now? Or is price going to break this low? Which one do you think is going to happen first? Based on the price action, volume, law of effort. Make your prediction here. And in 3 seconds, I am going to play this and we'll talk back about what happened. And I apologize in advance, by the way, because as you can probably see, I do have pretty bad allergies right now. So that's why I'm sounding like this, even on a great microphone. All right, let's see what happened. Let's do it one by one. Okay, yeah, that was an interesting 5-minute candle. So this looks quite bullish. At the moment, this looks quite bullish, but we'll see how this develops with its follow-up. Large effort move here. I need to see some good follow-up. Let's see if we get it. Oh, volume spike here. That volume spike is going to matter a lot if price goes lower. If price remains consolidating, then that would probably be pretty bullish. If price can consolidate in this range. Let's see what happens here. So price still is weakly making lows at the moment. As you can see, weak low here. And then we get this bit of a stronger low. So this is interesting. What did we learn from this, and what's going on here? Strong momentum to the upside, but really not a lot of volume being transacted. Large price effort move right here. This is a lot of effort. This is high momentum of about 2% upward, but volume is only 3 times the moving average, which is a volume spike, but that's a minor volume spike. I'm expecting a major volume spike with this kind of move. We don't get it. Then we get a volume spike when price moves to here and makes a tail here, makes a tail here. This doesn't look fantastic, as you can see here. I had said before, about 60 seconds before, that's a volume spike. That's not great for an uptrend, especially when it's occurring in an established uptrend like this. Price needs to continue to make higher highs to show me that demand is high enough to continue the trend, or that volume spike is just going to cause price to move down. So, yeah, as you can see here. And price failed to continue to consolidate, which is not a great sign either for the bulls. All right, so let me pause it at, I think I'm going to do like 2 or 3 more little pattern recognition examples here. But we just got a lot of price action here. So what is going on here? Let me play a little bit more. I want to get a move below a low. All right, let's do here. So what do we think is going to happen here? Do we think that price is going to, A, confidently make new highs, just continues the uptrend, B, weekly make a high, make a fake out, and then go much, much lower, or C, just go down. So I'm going to give you guys 3 seconds to try to guess or estimate would be a better word, where price is going to move to. All right, so let's take a look at what's happening. My prediction, because I honestly have no idea what's going to happen here, is this looks like the uptrend's not done yet. So I'm expecting price to likely continue this uptrend, which it does so far. It's continued the uptrend. Let's see what it's going to do now. Okay, so not great. Price does continue the uptrend. I had made that prediction here. Price does go a little bit lower, to be honest, but price did go higher here. I'm seeing a volume spike here. That looks to be 279 over 92 right here. Not great. That's not high momentum. That's a large effort move as well, but it's not high momentum. It's past a high here, and then price fails to make a confident new high and tails downward here. This isn't looking fantastic for the uptrend so far, but we'll see if we can get good follow-up. Maybe this tail down to here hit enough stop losses for price to go upward, but now I want to pause it. Yeah, here. So this looks interesting. We just broke this high here. Is this just a stop loss hunt? Price goes lower, or is this a genuine uptrend? Price is going to go higher. I'm going to give you guys 5 seconds for this. Are you bullish, or do you think this is going to be bearish with something like this? All right, let's take a look. I think that this, I don't know. I think that this is going to probably continue going upward. I think this looks like consolidation pattern. We stopped out some traders here, and we go upward. I mean, we'll see here. Yep. Okay. We did go upward. That does make sense. However, let's see here. Yeah, this is a bit worrying. High tails with high volume here. Yeah, what's going to happen here? This is not looking fantastic, but maybe we'll just see. Let's see here. Weak bullish pullback. A lot of volume being transacted here. Okay, so what do you think is going to happen here? We just had volume spike here and a volume spike here. Is this just going to turn very bearish, or do you think we're going to get enough bullish follow-up to continue the uptrend? Because this does look like trend momentum is high, not candlestick momentum, but trend momentum is high. Trend momentum is high when there's not a lot of pullback, of heavy pullback. There's not a lot of heavy pullback here. Candlestick momentum is high when, like this. That's high candlestick momentum from here to here. But this trend looks healthy so far, but there are some volume spikes to be worried about. So are you bullish or bearish? I think this is going to be my last example here. Do you think price is going to move downward, or do you think price is just going to confidently make new highs? I'll give you guys 3 seconds. All right, so my prediction, I feel like price is going to move down here. How much I would need to see? Yeah, let's see. Let me just hit play. Okay. One in the bag there. Glad I definitely got that one right. Yeah, I'm just looking at this pattern here. When you guys see these kinds of patterns, high volume tails here, not a great sign. High volume here, weak follow up, and that's why I predicted this. I mean, I didn't predict this like an exact bearish, high bearish trend, but I did say that price was probably going to move downward here. We do get some confident low tails here with some high volume though, so we'll see how that's treated. Looks like price might move upward from here. Yeah, that makes sense. Price does move upward there. All right, so this is going to be it for just more of a price action volume primer for how to practice. Some practice examples in here as well for what to look out for, the law of effort, looking for those when price moves past a major high or past a major low, or when price moves on very high momentum, we're looking for what's the follow-up. Is price still moving on high demand, or if it's a downtrend, is price still moving on high supply? Those are the things that we want to look out for the most. When you, excuse me, trade with rules like this, where you're analyzing the market like this with more of a rule-bound metrics, what you're actually going to be doing is using less of your biases and less of your emotions in your trading. When you take a look at a price action chart, and that can be quite helpful. Not only that, but the more that you practice with doing things like this, with what I just did on camera here, with the bar replay tool and just random practice with just looking at price action volume as you normally would. This is going to increase your trading confidence, and also this is also going to increase your trading pattern recognition so that you'll be able to see this doesn't look fantastic here. I think we're going to get a swift bearish reaction. And it's that exact thing that is going to give you a large edge over other traders. Because other traders might buy into this. They see high demand, high trend momentum here. But someone who's practiced price action volume trading might say, yeah, this doesn't look fantastic here. And, price does move lower. Volume spike here. Price moves higher. So, all right. I hope you enjoyed this video and hope that it helped you out with your price action volume reading. And have a great day.